What is going on, guys? Winner Kills here. Welcome back to another post-commentary duel video. Yeah, we've got Nimble Mermail on the right, piloted by none other than yours truly, me, Winner Kills, playing Nimble Mermail on the right versus my friend Adam playing Abyss Actor Pendulum, or just some sort of pendulum variant including Abyss Actors. Now I want to make a disclaimer before this video goes any further. This is my first time ever playing Nimble Mermail in a match, okay? Give me a break. I definitely don't make the most optimal plays here in the first game. I will openly admit that. Right here, I make a mistake. Instead of adding Turge, I should be adding Abyss Mander. That is one mistake that I do make here. I will throw that out there. Should have added Abyss Mander instead of Abyss Turge. Would have set up a much better play on in the future, and I'll explain that when we get there. But this is my first time playing Nimble Mermail ever. It's super fun. Really enjoyable. Love the play style, but there's just so many more things you can do just with the added Nimble engine. A lot of more link plays you can open up, especially with Saryuja. It's such an insane card. It's just like, this is like early access, okay? Not complete, but early access. I'm getting there, all right? I know it's probably not going to be perfect for some of you Nimble Mermail veterans out there. Probably won't be up to snuff with your guys' play, but, you know, give me a break, all right? So we're going to link one here into none other than Link Karibo. So right now, that Ronin Totem, theoretically, if I would have added the correct card, i.e. Abyss Mander, I would have been able to, at this point, make the True King of all Calamities, then link into a Saryuja, not worrying about losing my next battle phase, and draw 4 more cards. With the Saryuja, losing the Moonlight, like I said, doesn't really matter too much in this situation. As you see, I draw into 4 cards there, and I'm able to now have to, basically just the effect of how Saryuja works, I have to put 3 back to the bottom of my deck in any order. And I still get the added bonus of being able to summon something from hand like this, and granted, you know, I make an even bigger mistake here by, you know, summoning the Turge from hand. That could have been something else theoretically. Getting a gun for something that I thought I had engraved, but I just didn't. And I would have a True King of all Calamities instead of Gaios here. And just having an overall much better turn. I do have Droll and Lockbird in hand. Which does actually come in handy here. It was one of the hand traps I was able to dig into with Saryuja. He is going to activate Chronograph here. Alongside that, he'll be activating, I believe that's Leading Lady, Pendulum summoning Darkworm, alongside of Abyss Actor Superstar. Now, when he does add off of Darkworm, I'm going to activate the Droll and Lock Bird in my hand that I was able to draw into thanks to Saryuja. This, basically, you know, not the best hand trap to have in this situation, but I figured if he's going to go into Electromite, which, you know, is usually the next step at this point for most Pendulum decks, it'll hinder him a little bit. He'll be able to do some little extra deck shenanigans by sending things to the extra deck, destroying something to add something to the extra deck or to his field, however Electromite works, but he won't be able to get the added draw effect. So he'll get the additional link effect when it's summoned, which is add a Pendulum monster from his deck to his extra deck. And then you'll still be able to activate the other once per turn effect, which is to target one other face-up card you control, destroy it, then add a face-up Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. You know, Droll and Lock, as I checked there from the grave, only stops from adding from deck to hand. But the added effect, if a card or cards in your Pendulum zone leaves the field, he can draw 1 card. He won't be able to do that, which sort of leaves him strung out for resources at that point. And getting this Astrograph to the field, as we know, really doesn't help him, and he only has the Supreme King Gate 0. And being that he already Pendulum summoned that turn, I just have a lot of damage on board at that point that he's not going to be able to stop, hence why we head into Game 2 here, and I'll be opting to go first this time. Actually, he does choose for himself to go second, so I'll be getting to go first here. Starting things off with Foolish Burial, sending Nimble Angler, summoning out that Beaver and that Sunfish. Basically, the only reason for this play is to get these bodies on board, these different names to sort of fuel Saryuja, because you do need 4 different names in order to go into him to get all of the effects off, which are 1, anything that gets normal special summon to his zone at points 2 gains 300 attack and defense, If you use 3 or more different names, it gains the effect where you can just special something from your hand once per turn, 1 monster from your hand. And the 4th effect is draw 4 cards and then return 3 of them to the bottom of your deck, which is just a phenomenal effect to have. So here I end up adding Mooling Glacier, and I apologize for the glare here. It was not the most optimal recording setting, but I had to make do. And I ended up going into Decode Talker here. I think I could have probably played this first turn hand a bit better. Again, it's just unfamiliarity with what I'm able to like do with the Nimble deck, the sort of combos you can go into. I'm able, as you see here, still able to go into Mooling Glacier, hit a Pot of Desires, and I believe what looks like to be an Evil Heal Abyss Actor, or an Extras. I'm not really entirely sure what it is. Going into Turge here, discarding Gun, reviving that Teus, and adding back, I believe it was an Angler. So I do have that for next turn. But my board just sort of ended in this awkward area, and what I should have done, if I'm going to keep my Decode Talker here anyways, is put the Turge in one zone that the Decode Talker is pointing to, and the Teus in the other, so I can at least have my Decode Talker gain attack and able to use its effect, which I do not for some reason. Again, it's just stupid of me. And then I go into Saryuja here. Why? That's a good question, right? I don't know. My hand was already so bad at this point, and my field so meh. I decided, you know, maybe I can draw into like a Soul Charge or something, or a Megalo with a Dragoons, just really anything to sort of get my plays started. And I just, at some point, I could have just played that hand so much better. I should have just added Mander and tried to go for some sort of Megalo play. I'm pretty sure that would have been possible with the cards that I had available there, and I just didn't. I would have been able to at least go for Megalo and probably a rank 8 or rank 9. And I just overthought the play and goofed real hard. So I apologize for that. Again, literally this match here, like the first match ever playing Nimble Mermail. I know it's not an excuse, right? But it's why I'm making a mistake. It's a mistake that I really didn't know I was making until I'm now watching after the fact, because I'm doing this post commentary the night of that this match took place. So it's fresh in the head still. I'm still able to be like, you know what? I still could have done this, that, and it would have ended much better here. Maybe the board I would have made would have been able to stop his Electromite play from going off. And now he's going to play Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser, destroy that with the Electromite effect, summon out Astrograph, and add another Curtain Raiser. I believe that has to do with probably Curtain Raiser's effect, right? I don't know. Pendulum effect. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your Pendulum zone. You can only use the effect of Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser once per turn. Okay, so that's what Curtain Raiser does. You can just special summon them from free from your zone, probably to help go into a Link summon for something much like Electromite. And there he goes into the cheeky Dweller, of course. And I'm like, you know what? I goofed so bad. I don't want to play this game out. Let's go to game 3. You know, it is what it is, right? We're going into game 3 here. We're going to have a pretty solid game 3. Now, I open up double swap. It's beautiful, right? Because I don't have to worry about bringing swap back to my hand to normal summon it, because I can just send Ronin with this one activation of swap, and I still have a swap engrave. So opening 2 toads like that, 2 swap frogs. Why am I saying toads? Opening 2 swap frogs together is actually a blessing in disguise, when it may seem like, oh, you know, I bricked real hard on this one, guys. I bricked real hard. It's not the case. Then we're going to go into Neptibus here. Luckily, no hand traps to get in the way. And with Neptibus being activated here, we'll just send the standard Dragoons, add Dragoons and Megalo to hand. You know, pretty much the standard rundown with how you're going to do any sort of Neptibus play. Teus now being activated and discarding Dragoons here. Now, one thing I can say about this Nimble Mermail build, I'm only playing 2 Moray of Greed now, as opposed to playing 3. And for some reason, the 2 just works out so much better than the 3 ever did. I don't know why. You still see it when you want to, and you don't when you don't want to, right? I found that this build is just a lot more consistent in what it can do. I do have another match recorded here, me playing Nimble Mermail versus True Draco. That probably will go up tomorrow, so you guys have that to look forward to. But the Teus being resolved here, you know, of course, discarding the Dragoons there. I believe I added the Mander, yeah, a Mander and a Neptibus, adding, of course, Neptibus off Dragoons and Mander off Teus. Now going to activate Megalo Chainlink 2 and Neptibus Chainlink 1, reviving that Dragoons there. Now, I sort of thought I had made a mistake here with how this play was going to go, because now I've sort of got this awkward Dragoons on the board, right? And I'm like, did I really want to do that? And I sort of started off this turn thinking I kind of want to just go into a Toad and go from there, but that's not what I did. I kind of wanted just to hold back a little bit and see what I could go into. So what I do instead is ditch 4 for Saryuja. And it would have been a terrible play had I not drawn in to the Soul Charge there, which you saw me drew into, which was absolutely insane. I drew into an Ash Blossom as well. Now able to go here into Toad. Like I said, you know, I probably shouldn't have done what I did if I didn't originally open the Soul Charge, but I was able to draw into it, so this is something I wouldn't recommend doing in the first place, is just don't do this play if you don't have Soul Charge. Basically, just opening Neptibus and Soul Charge. This field is very easily obtainable. It's just getting the Soul Charge in your hand at the same time the Neptibus is. Now, you'll see me move around my monster placements here, which I know I shouldn't do, but I put my monsters in the absolutely worst spot possible, so I put them in the right arrangement here in order to be able to go into Bahamut Shark, then Toad. I just needed to make sure both Dragoons were under the 2 spots that Saryuja was pointing to. And then I'm able to go grab Moulin Glacie here with the detachment of that Dragoons off the Bahamut Shark, and of course go into another Toad. And as you'll see, I still have the Megalo and Teus on board with that Abyssmander engraved. Now I make them level 9, but I still have a bit of a little bit of a mishap going on here. I don't have any more extra monster zones to go into. So what am I going to do next? Think about it. Well, it's pretty easy. At the time, it wasn't easy to think about it, but now it kind of is. Everything sort of makes a little more sense. Just link that Saryuja up with that Bahamut Shark into an Underclock Taker, and for some reason, I actually, and I cut it out here just so it wouldn't make me look too bad, right? I'm not going to say I didn't cut it out, but I did. I put the Underclock Taker where my Saryuja is, when in fact I could have just, and I do end up fixing the problem anyway, is just link for the Underclock Taker and put the Underclock Taker simply in the other extra monster zone that is on towards the bottom of the screen, which is I end up doing. I put it there, and I'm now able to, with the zone that Underclock Taker points down to, go into the rank 9 that is True King of All Calamities and Moulin Glacie for 2, as you see there. Those are the 2 cards that I knocked out of his hand. He has Pot of Desires. Of course, I'll negate that with Toad. He's going to banish 10. I'll set the Desires down for myself. Still have another totally awesome here. I didn't use his effect to summon in standby phase, which I should have, but I just guess I forgot. Just another Aqua on board I could have had to tribute. But regardless, he's going to have to try to make some sort of move here anyways. He's going to bring down Funky Comedian. And at this point, his only option here is now just to try and crash into my Totally Awesome to try to take the least amount of damage here. I sort of read over its effect. He does have an ability, sort of something that along the lines of attack manipulation. But if you do the attack manipulation with Funky Comedian, he cannot attack that turn. So he ends up doing it just to try to crash into Toad in order to trigger the Chronograph Magician in his hand. And at this point, I decide it's best to chain none other than True King of All Calamities, called Dark, to negate that. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I sort of goofed up a little bit in game 2, but again, some of my first games ever playing Nimble Mermail, and I only plan to improve in the future for you guys. So I know the last video I uploaded was, there was a whole lot of read your damn card, and I understand the frustration. You try to sit down to watch a duel, you know, for me, and you guys should expect the best, because I am without a doubt, I will say that I provide the best post-commentary duel videos on YouTube in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. I will say that. I'm proud with the work that I do as far as commentary goes, but sometimes, you know, I don't have access to the Billy Breaks, you know, the Jeff Jones of the Yu-Gi-Oh community, to get that high quality duel play, and I'm working my best for that. And it all starts with me being the best I can at Nimble Mermail. Hopefully, you'll see what I had done here today improve, and just take the game a little more seriously in general. When I sit down to record duels at tournaments and stuff like that, just try to record and select who I record a little bit better, and sort of try to flush out the not so good duels, I guess. Because you know, if there are videos that I have footage of and I just feel that they're not good enough to go up, even though it's just footage to, you know, upload good views, you know, I'm not gonna do it. If it's not something that I feel is up to par, sometimes those videos do sneak through, and it's only after the fact I realize, you know, when everybody's, you know, clawing at the door saying, you know, this happened, this happened, this happened, and it's something I just didn't catch as I was commentating over it, you know. But in most cases, I'm trying to avoid uploading stuff that I know you guys don't deserve to watch, and it's just better off that you guys get provided with something that's actually worth your time to watch. So, and I apologize for and we've been through this before, but apologize for that. Hopefully the quality here will improve the best that it can. And if you've made it this far into the video, just thanks for listening. And yeah, Winterkill is signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned next week. I've got a bit of a surprise coming. Hopefully it should be ready by next week. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, like I said, Winterkill is signing out. We'll see you in the next one.